Let me give you a brief introduction of Steve Griffith. First of all, sir, we are honored to have you here. Steve's credentials are impeccable. He's a graduate of Harvard, did Masters in Politics at Oxford University, Juris Doctorate in Stanford Law. He's been practicing as one of the Oregon's super lawyers long. His community service extends beyond his law profession into the areas of education and Peace Corps and into community service as well. Steve has been a chair of Portland School Board for 4 times and still taking time to voluntarily teach high school kids at Lincoln High in US Constitution. He's a member of World Affairs Council and as a member of US Peace Corps sent considerable amounts of...
Thank you very much for the privilege of allowing me to address you at this time. I'm here speaking to you because I am a human being. I wasn't born in India. I wasn't raised in India. I have visited it. I've been to Mumbai. But the claim I have for being here is that I am a human being and we are part of one world. There are people here who may know victims of the terrorism in Mumbai, who may have family or friends there. We all know that apparently if we but knew the linkages, everyone in this world is connected to everyone else by only 6 degrees of separation. I don't know what my particular connection is, but like you, each of us is tied to those persons who lost their lives, who lost their families, who lost their innocence in November. And one of the things that has struck me about those terrible events is really how innocent the people were. None of them who lost their life deserved to die, had done anything to deserve that. None of them had done anything wrong to the people who took their lives. None of them even knew the people who took their lives. In some cases, none of them ever saw the people who took their lives. It was, for them, a random act. And its randomness means that the same thing might happen to each of us, perhaps, in our lives. So there's a closer connection between what happened there and what might happen to us than we might think. There's also, to me, as I think about those events, it brings home the kind of asymmetry in life that each of you, in some senses, November 26, 2008, is like September 11, 2001. One was at one end of the earth, the other was the other end of the earth. But in some ways, they're alike. They both involve 2 of the world's great democracies. 2 of the world's great societies where we are committed to the idea that we will accept other people, not just the people who are like us, but the people who are unlike us. And we will celebrate those differences and honor them. And what happened in November happened in the land of Mahatma Gandhi. And what happened here on September 11 happened in the land of Martin Luther King, one of Gandhi's great disciples. So we're very much tied together, you and I. what are the lessons that I think we can take from this occasion? And the first is, we will prepare ourselves for the future. Because something like this might happen again. And we must always think, are we ready to serve? Are we ready to sacrifice? Are we ready to help? While there is much sadness in remembering the events in Mumbai, there's also not just victims, but heroes. The man in the train station who continued to speak over the public announcement system and tell people where to go and where not to go. How many lives did he save? The anti-terrorist group who sacrificed their lives to save people have visited these acts on us. We have no tolerance for that conduct. But behind the conduct, there are human beings. And at some deepest level, we cannot simply say, they are no part of our lives. We must deal with these human beings and figure out how to communicate with them and invite them into a different way of living. And if we can address them, then out of each of our religious traditions that we heard today, we can love them. Not their conduct, but their humanity. And that's the greatest, most difficult challenge of all. But we are called upon to love, because not to love is not to live. And to love is to live. And it is through love and justice that we will find the peace that brings us here today. Thank you.
Yes, my name is Gulzar Ahmed. I belong to Islamic Society of Greater Portland and also Pakistan Cultural Association of Portland. And being a Muslim and a Pakistani, I strongly reject and condemn what happened in Mumbai. I also offer my condolences to the families and to the people who perished, and offer my sympathies and prayers for the people who were injured and who were hurt. I also like to say that the destinies of Pakistan and India are intertwined. So they are together, and they can gain from cooperating with each other more than they can from not doing so. And I really believe that Pakistan and India are a country with a common background, common culture, and I think that these terrorists, if we let them, if we let them get their way, their purpose is to divide Pakistan and India. Their purpose is to make conflict between India and Pakistan. If we let them do that, we are actually making them successful.